Chosen ones, let's get one thing straight. They're not scared of what you've built. They're petrified of how you build again. While they're shackled by fear, clutching their broken dreams, you're out here flipping the script, rising like a phoenix with swagger that shakes the ground beneath their feet. They can't handle your fearless reset button, and that's their problem, not yours. They fear you because you redefine power in a way that makes their comfort zones crumble. Most people cling desperately to the familiar even as it drains them. But you toss it aside the moment it stops serving your purpose. Their fear isn't about your losses, it's about your refusal to be owned by them. You destroy the narrative that starting over is weakness. Every time you rise, it's not just survival, it's a revolution. Your willingness to burn the old and build the new exposes their dependence on what's holding them back. They hide behind routines and excuses, but you make a mockery of their fragile systems. They fear you because you don't play by the rules that trap them. Where they see failure, you see freedom. You thrive in the chaos they spend their lives avoiding. Your ability to rebuild isn't just intimidating, it's annihilating their excuses. Every time you start from zero, you take the limits they've imposed on themselves and tear them apart. They hate that you make what they call impossible look effortless. You don't ask for permission, and you don't wait for ideal conditions. You start where you are, with what you have, and you unleash something unstoppable. They don't fear your success, they fear your audacity, the fire that fuels your rebirth, the raw energy that terrifies those who can't keep up. They will never understand how you embrace the fall because they're too busy clinging to ledges, and that's why you will always win. Every ending is just another stage for you to set ablaze, every loss another opportunity to prove that nothing can keep you down. They fear you because you show them the truth. Starting over is not the end, it's where power begins. Starting over isn't a burden for you, it's the ultimate act of defiance. While most are paralyzed by fear, clutching desperately to what's falling apart, you stand unshaken. Starting over is your liberation, your declaration that no circumstance, no loss, no failure will ever define you. They don't see the freedom in your fire, they only see the threat it poses to their fragile stability. For you, the ashes of yesterday are nothing but fertile ground for tomorrow's empire. Rock bottom isn't the end for you, it's the launchpad. When others crumble, you rise. Not slowly, not timidly, but with a power so fierce they can't look away. They call it reckless, you call it unstoppable. You have the audacity to let go, to leave behind anything that doesn't serve your vision, and that terrifies them. They can't fathom how you turn every ending into a new beginning, every loss into a gain, every no into the loudest yes of your life. Your strength isn't just in what you've survived, it's in how you choose to rebuild, bigger and bolder every single time. Starting over isn't surrender, it's a strategy. It's the ultimate flex of your resilience, proof that nothing can keep you chained. You're not afraid of losing because you know you can create it all again, and more. That kind of freedom, it shakes them to their core. They'll never admit it, but they wish they had the courage to start fresh the way you do. This is your superpower, to walk into the unknown without flinching, to take every shattered piece and forge it into something unbreakable, to burn down what doesn't work and rise in the glow of your own unstoppable fire. Starting over isn't just what you do, it's who you are. Now, if you're ready to unleash that strength and remind the world that you are untouchable, I want you to comment below. Starting over is my superpower. At this time, and only if you feel called to do so, you may also subscribe to Astral Atom and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future spiritual upgrades from this divine channel. You are the force they fear because you understand the raw power of destruction and creation. While others cling desperately to crumbling structures, terrified of what change will take from them, you rip it all down without hesitation. You destroy not out of recklessness but with precision, to make room for something greater. The old, the broken, the stagnant, they hold no power over you. You tear apart the obsolete to unleash something extraordinary. They call it chaos. You call it evolution. Your ability to let go isn't weakness, it's the ultimate weapon. Where they see loss, you see freedom. You break free from the suffocating grip of roles, labels, and expectations, stepping into limitless potential. Their fear isn't just that you let go, it's that you do it without hesitation, without second guessing, without looking back. They see you walk away from what they spend their lives protecting, and it terrifies them because they don't know how to live without their chains. They crumble under change because they fear it. But you thrive on it. You understand the rhythm of destruction and creation. Each cycle, each loss, each ending fuels you, sharpens you, refines you. You don't rebuild the same thing twice. You create better, stronger, and more powerful foundations every time. They fear the way you turn endings into beginnings, rubble into monuments, and doubts into fire. When you destroy, you're not just tearing down walls, you're obliterating limits. And when you create, you're not just building structures, you're carving out legacies. They hate that they can't stop you. They hate that you don't need permission to shatter what doesn't serve you. They hate that you can walk away from everything and still rise. This isn't just survival, it's dominance. They'll never understand the freedom you've claimed, but they'll always feel the power of the flames you leave behind. Destruction and creation are your twin flames, and you wield them with terrifying precision. Let them fear it. Let them watch as you burn it all down and build something they can't even dream of. And now, let us take a brief moment to honor the chosen among us. Here's to the ones who refuse to settle, the ones who sense, beyond the humdrum blur, an unseen horizon calling them forward. They know the world doesn't need more followers. It needs beacons, alive and awake at odd hours, forging paths that most eyes will never see. Within these quiet depths, a rare circle endures, the Obsidian Inner Order. Here, a handful of souls share truths unspoken, standing watch beneath a moon that outshines the brightest neon signs. No masks, no hollow bravado, only a current of honesty that runs as deep as midnight silence. It's not for everyone, it's not meant to be. But for those who feel a certain stirring just reading these words, the path ahead is clear. There's a link in the description, a door you can choose to open. With each heartbeat you wait, the few remaining seats in our star chamber grow scarcer, drifting beyond the reach of ordinary ambition. So if this resonates, if you can almost taste the electric hum of possibility, don't hesitate. Click the link in the description and join us. Discover what thrives in the shadows, what wisdom lies behind the veil. Become part of something rare, something quietly luminous, something that won't be told, only felt. You are terrifying because you thrive in the void they fear most. While they cling to the fragile safety of societal labels and expectations, you strip yourself of every limitation they place on you. You're not tied to their definitions, their hierarchies, or their approval. You obliterate the roles they try to box you into because you understand that true freedom is found in the ruins of their constructs. They fear your detachment because it's a power they'll never own. When the world shakes and their facades crumble, they scramble to hold on, but you let it fall. You don't just accept the emptiness left behind, you welcome it. In that void you see infinite possibilities where they only see loss. You thrive on the challenge of forging something new from nothing, knowing that every ending is simply the raw material for your next masterpiece. They'll never understand that your strength lies not in what you hold on to, but in what you're willing to release. Your ability to step into the unknown isn't recklessness, it's mastery. You're not afraid to dismantle what no longer serves you, because you've proven to yourself time and time again that you don't need what they think is essential. Their fear of starting over traps them, but your willingness to tear it all down sets you free. That freedom, that unshakable belief in your power to rebuild, terrifies them because it exposes their own dependence on things you've already outgrown. You are a force of nature, unburdened by their expectations, unshaken by their doubts. Where they see emptiness, you see raw, untamed potential. You rise from the ruins, liberated and unstoppable, reminding them that true power is the ability to walk away from anything and still win. Rock bottom strips away everything false. No masks, no borrowed identities, no safety nets to hide behind. It is raw, unfiltered reality, and that's exactly where your power begins. While others fear the fall, you embrace the purity of starting from nothing. There, in the absence of distraction, you see with perfect clarity. No chains hold you, no labels define you, and no expectations weigh you down. You are unbound, and that terrifies them because they can't comprehend a freedom so complete. The clean slate is not a curse, it is a gift. From there, every choice is yours to make. No handouts, no inherited paths, no borrowed victories. It's just you, your fire, and the limitless potential of what comes next. The world doesn't give you permission to start over. You take it. Rock bottom doesn't bury you. It sets you free to rebuild exactly how you want. They fear it because they know they could never survive the way you do. When there's nothing left, you're at your most dangerous. With no lingering chains to hold you back, you forge your identity from the ground up. You don't carry the dead weight of yesterday's comforts, you rise unshackled. While they scramble to salvage what's already lost, you're creating something stronger, untouchable, indestructible. That kind of power, the power to choose your path without compromise, is a force they'll never understand. Every crack in the foundation, every shattered illusion, every fall is another opportunity for you to prove what they fear most, that you don't need what they cling to. You're not rebuilding to match their standards, you're rewriting the rules entirely, and when you rise, the world will never look the same again. Pain is not your enemy, it's your crucible. It burns away everything false, weak, and unnecessary. When the fire comes, it doesn't destroy you, it purifies you. It strips you bare, forcing you to confront the truth of who you are. Others crumble under its heat, but you stand firm, unyielding, and unbreakable. They fear the fire because it exposes their limits, while you thrive because it reveals your strength. Agony is the great purge. It doesn't just hurt, it transforms. Every scream, every scar, every moment of despair is carving away the distractions and illusions that kept you chained. While they run from discomfort, you walk straight into it. You know the pain isn't the end, it's the beginning. The wreckage left behind isn't your downfall, it's the foundation for what comes next. They can't understand how you stand amidst the ashes with a smile, unshaken, ready to rise. Pain teaches you what they will never learn. It shows you the depths of your resilience, the sharpness of your will, and the fire within that cannot be extinguished. While they hide from their trials, hoping to escape unscathed, you embrace yours, knowing the scars are proof of your power. Every tear, every crack in the facade, every shattered piece of your old life is fuel for the unrelenting force you're becoming. They'll never know what it means to be reborn through the fire. They'll never grasp the strength it takes to walk through the inferno and come out stronger on the other side. That's why they fear you. Pain doesn't break you, it rebuilds you. While they fear the flames, you wear them like armor, unashamed, unafraid, unstoppable. You are forged by the fire and nothing will stand in your way. Destruction isn't the end, it's your beginning. When everything crumbles, when the old falls away, you don't mourn the loss. You revel in the freedom. The rubble isn't failure, it's your playground, where limitations die and bold reinvention takes shape. You don't rebuild to replicate what was. You build something untamed, something raw, something uniquely yours. While they panic at the sight of chaos, you thrive because you know that creation demands destruction. This is your thrill, the chance to craft without compromise. You don't salvage the wreckage. You take the shards and turn them into something that screams defiance, power, and originality. They fear the way you start over, because you don't rebuild within their boundaries. You shatter expectations with every move, creating something that doesn't fit their molds and refuses to bow to their rules. Their fear isn't of what you've lost, but of what you're capable of creating. You rise from destruction not as a copy of your former self, but as something completely new, something they can't predict, control, or contain. This is your masterpiece, the raw, unfiltered expression of your power, shaped by your own hands and born from your own fire. Every fall is just fuel for your rise, every failure a lesson that sharpens your edge. You don't fear the breaking point, you embrace it because it's where you come alive. They will never understand how you look at destruction and see opportunity, how you take the pieces they'd call ruins and make them the foundation of something unstoppable. You don't just rebuild, you reinvent, and that terrifies them because they can never keep up with someone who refuses to stay the same. You are the storm and rebuilding is your art. Power isn't about having everything, it's about doing everything with what you have. When resources are scarce, when options are few, That's when your true brilliance emerges. Scarcity doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you. You take what others dismiss as scraps and forge tools of domination. Where they see limitations, you see raw potential. They fear your resourcefulness because it proves you don't need their excess to thrive. Necessity isn't just the mother of invention, it's the crucible of your power. Every time you face a setback, every time the odds are stacked against you, you find a way to turn that pressure into precision. Obstacles aren't barriers, they are weapons waiting for you to wield them. You don't flinch when others would falter. Instead, you calculate, strategize, and adapt until what was meant to hold you back becomes the very thing that propels you forward. Every challenge, every limitation, every moment of scarcity is an opportunity for transformation. You reframe failure as feedback, struggle as strength, and obstacles as opportunities. Where others stop at what they lack, you see what can be built. You master the art of making more from less, proving that greatness isn't about abundance. It's about audacity. You do what they cannot. You turn losses into leverage. You don't waste time waiting for ideal conditions. Instead, you rise where you are, using what you have, and creating what you need. That kind of power is terrifying to those who need everything handed to them. They can't comprehend how you build from nothing, how you thrive under pressure, how you never stop moving forward no matter what stands in your way. Your strength is your refusal to be limited by circumstances. Where they break, you adapt. Where they falter, you rise. And where they see scarcity, you create abundance. This is the law you live by. No excuses, no hesitation, no limits. You do what can't be done because you never wait for permission. You take it. You are the embodiment of evolution, a force of destruction and rebirth that terrifies those stuck in stagnation. While they cling to the comfort of who they were, you destroy what no longer serves you without hesitation. You know the cycle. Destroy, rebuild, repeat. Each time you burn down the old, you emerge sharper, stronger, and more untouchable. They fear you because you refuse to stay the same. And with every reinvention, you leave them further behind. Every version of you is an upgrade, forged in the fires of what others call failure. They don't understand that destruction isn't the end. It's the ignition of your next transformation. You don't settle for mediocrity. You tear it apart, grind it into dust, and build something that challenges everything they think they know. Every piece of rubble from your past becomes the foundation for something more powerful, something they can't even fathom. They want predictability. But you are chaos incarnate. Your strength isn't in standing still. It's in your ability to obliterate limits and rise from your own ashes, more refined and more dangerous than ever. They try to understand your process, but they can't, because they are too afraid to tear themselves apart. They fear the very thing that fuels you, the relentless destruction of the old to make way for the new. This loop isn't a burden, it's your weapon. Each destruction strips away weakness. Each rebirth amplifies your power. They will never keep up because they are bound by fear, while you are driven by an unshakable hunger for growth. You don't stop, you don't settle. And with every cycle you prove that destruction is not defeat, it's domination. You are the loop, endless and unstoppable. Your fiercest rival stares back at you from the mirror. They are the only one who matters, the only one worth outpacing, outgrowing, outshining. While others waste their energy comparing themselves to the world, you know the truth. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. Every step you take is a challenge to your past self. Every move a declaration that you will never settle for who you've already been. The shadows of your former self can't hold you. You don't just surpass them, you obliterate them. Where others stagnate, you evolve. You push harder, climb higher, break barriers they didn't even see. Yesterday's victories are nothing more than fuel for today's ambition. You are relentless in your pursuit of growth, knowing that each moment offers the chance to redefine what you're capable of. This is not about perfection, it's about progression. You don't need their validation, their approval, or their applause. You measure your worth not against others but against the relentless standard you set for yourself. The you of today is already outshining the you of yesterday, and tomorrow will be no different. That kind of hunger terrifies them because they can't understand a fire that never dies. You don't just chase greatness, you create it day after day, moment after moment through every choice and every action. While they look outward, you look inward, knowing the real battle is within. And every time you push past the limits of who you were, you remind them, and yourself, that the only way forward is through constant reinvention. You are not competing with the world. You are competing with your own potential, and you refuse to let anything, not even yourself, hold you back. No one is coming to save you, and that's your greatest power. The cage you're trapped in, you built it. The chains holding you back, they're of your own making. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. You hold the key. Your transformation isn't waiting for permission, a miracle, or external validation. It begins and ends with you. Every excuse, every hesitation, every fear is fuel for the fire you need to ignite within. You can rewrite everything. Your story, your potential, your future. It's all in your hands. They try to convince you that you're stuck, that the circumstances are too heavy, but you know better. Ownership is your weapon, and when you wield it, no one can stop you. When you take responsibility, you take control. It's not about blame. It's about claiming the power to choose, to change, to rise. Every choice you've made has brought you here, and every choice from this moment forward will define what you become. You can tear down the walls of your own making and build something unstoppable. While others wait for rescue, you become your own savior. You don't need them, their systems, or their approval. You are both the creator of your struggle and the architect of your liberation. This is your moment. No more waiting, no more deflecting, no more hiding. You take full responsibility not because it's easy, but because it's the only way to own your transformation. Every step forward is yours. Every victory is earned. Every piece of your new self is built by your hands. Let them watch as you turn the key, break the chains, and rise into the power they never thought you had. You are the master of your narrative. Take it. You are not here to fit their mold, follow their rules, or live by their expectations. You are here to shatter limits, society's and your own. They have tried to confine you with labels, roles, and expectations, but you are done playing small. You break free not to be accepted, but to become something they can't ignore, something they fear, something they respect. You are not their creation. You are your own, forged by your fire and shaped by your will. Your transformation is not polite, and it is not comfortable. It's a revolution. Every self-imposed limit, every hesitation, every fear is stripped away and left in the ashes of what you used to be. You don't tiptoe around their opinions or seek their approval. You carve yourself into a force so undeniable, so relentless, that they have no choice but to acknowledge your power. You don't rise to meet their standards. You rise to destroy them. You don't aspire to be better than others. You aspire to be unrecognizable from the weaker version of yourself they thought they knew. The respect you command is earned through blood, sweat, and defiance. The fear you ignite is proof that you are no longer bound by their world. You are not one of them, and you never will be. This isn't about being liked. It's about being unstoppable. You've become a force that can't be matched because you refuse to accept the limits they live by. They may not understand you, but they will respect you. They may fear you, but they will never forget you. This is your truth. You are not just breaking free. You are rising into a self that is untouchable, unbreakable, and utterly unmatched. You are the force they can't silence. The proof that resilience isn't just survival, it's domination. Every time you fall, you rise higher. Every time they doubt you, you turn their disbelief into fuel. You are not here to be ordinary. You are here to disrupt, to challenge, to show them what unstoppable truly looks like. They will never understand the fire that burns within you, but they will feel its heat every time you rise from the ashes, stronger and more untouchable than before. You are the phoenix, the embodiment of destruction and rebirth. Your power doesn't come from what you've achieved, but from your refusal to stay down. When the world tries to bury you, you show them that you are the soil's greatest secret, a seed that grows stronger with every storm. They fear your ability to begin again because it reminds them of their own limits, while you shatter yours with every step forward. Chosen ones, it's time to keep intimidating them. Tear down their doubts, build up your empire, and redefine what's possible every time you start over. The beauty of beginning again isn't just your resilience, it's your ability to turn every ending into a triumph. Let them fear you, let them envy you, but most importantly, let them see that nothing can stop you. Now it's your turn. Share your story. Tell the world how you've risen, how you've rebuilt, how you've claimed the power they said you'd never have. Be the proof that starting from zero isn't the end. It's the beginning of something unstoppable. Rise, chosen one. The fire is yours.